What's up, guys? One Koala Man here, bringing you episode number 32 of our fairy tale reviews. And if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to hit that like button down below. Be sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel, because I welcome every single one of you with open arms, every single episode, all day, every day. And be sure to share it with everybody you know and that would like this type of review, because like I always say, this review is not like every other review. It is more of a recap. I do put my opinion in there, and I mean, because everything's got bias, everything's got opinions, so I mean, you can't really leave opinion out of anything, really. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and answer the question of the day, both which will be in the description down below. I almost forgot that part. With all that said, let's get this mother underway. So we start today's episode off with Loki explaining what the situation was with Karen, because like he said in the last episode, he killed Karen. Now we are going to find out how exactly he killed Karen, but we start off in the Blue Pegasus Guild, which is very weird because the guild hall is pink and it's called Blue Pegasus, but that's just me, that's just my little nitpicking, I guess. We finally see Karen as well as the pink Blue Pegasus Guild. And guys in that guild are so head over heels over Karen Lilica, probably because she was in Sorcerer Weekly, you know, quite a few times. So what does Karen do about the drooling guys around her? She summons Ares, the golden ram. And Ares is a cute little petite, you know, very timid, very shy celestial spirit. And I kind of feel bad because she tells Ares, like, hey, you entertain the guys while I go out and do a job. And she's like, but I don't really want to. That's not what I signed up for. And she's like, are you back talking to me? And she's like, no. So she's kind of a D-bag to her celestial spirits. And one day, Bob, who is the guild master of the Blue Pegasus Guild, I still don't know what Bob can do. I really want to see what Bob can do, because he is a very interesting fellow, that's for dang sure. But Bob is talking to Karen and saying, I don't like how you treat your celestial spirits, because they are living things, they have feelings, they have emotions, and you're just treating them like your own, you know, punching bag. And Karen's like, I'm sorry, master. And then she takes her anger out, you know, later that day on Ares, and she's saying, why did you tell master about how I treat you? And what Karen's punishment is that she was gonna like handcuff Ares to the human world, because the longer a spirit is in the human world, the longer spirit's in the human world, the weaker and weaker it gets. So she's pretty much trying to starve Ares, and that's really bad, really bad. So just when Karen is about to handcuff Ares to whatever, Ares disappears, and Loki comes in, and he's dressed so dapper. He's got that sweet looking suit, he's got some cool spiky hair, and he is Leo the Lion, but I'm still going to call him Loki because that's what I know him as, even though he is formerly known as Leo. But Loki comes in, so he's saying, look, I came here on my own power, so you did not summon me, so you cannot close the gate. Even though, you know, Karen tried closing Loki's gate, but since he came in his own power, she has no control over him. And he's saying, I will not leave until you void mine and Ares' contracts. So, because I don't want to be with you, Ares definitely doesn't want to be with you. We want to leave, so you got to sign our contracts off and get us out of here. So Loki gives her some time to think. He says, I'll meet you in the ruins down in the west, I believe. And so he goes over there, and Karen is coming, you know, day after day saying, look, I can't get a job because you will not go back to the spirit world. So please, you have to help me. And Loki's saying, are you going to void our contract? And she's like, no, that's the only way I can get jobs. He's like, sorry. And then she starts beating on him because he won't, you know, go back to the spirit world. And he says, like, I'm still going to stay here no matter how long it takes until you finally release us from our contract. And 3 months later, he is still waiting there. And he's like, well, I guess it's been long enough. I guess I can forgive Karen. So he walks out, and Bob comes up to him, and no words are said. He just knows. Loki just knows that Karen is dead. And now we're back in the present time with Loki and Lucy at the waterfall with Karen's grave. And Loki's, you know, passing out. He's getting really lightheaded, and he starts fading away. And Lucy Lucy is going up on my list. She is so genuine. She is so caring of everybody else in the guild because everybody's caring of her. So she's returning the favor pretty much. And she's like, you know, holding Loki in, and she's saying, I will not let you die. You will not die. And throughout this whole, like, I don't know, 5-minute period, it is just giving me goosebumps the whole time. And I'm like, wow. Anything that gives me the goosebumps is amazing. So this is amazing in my books. And she's trying to open Loki's gate, and it just won't open. And like, she's just wasting massive amounts of magic energy. Like, magic energy is surging out of her, and I had no idea Lucy had all that magic energy inside of her. And she just does not want Loki to die. Soon the magic like just cuts, and they both fly back a little bit, and then like they look up in the sky, and the stars are kind of blurry, kind of, you know, funky looking, and then like a big ball of light shows up, and Loki's saying, no way, there's no way this can be him. And him is referring to the Celestial Spirit King. And this Celestial Spirit King is freaking ridiculously big. I wonder if he has a key. I've always wondered that. I wondered if he had a key for someone. If he does, he'd be a powerful son of a gun, that's for dang sure. But he's saying, look, old friend, referring to Loki, he's like, you've broken the #1 rule in the Celestial Spirit world. And Lucy is starting to talk back to the Celestial Spirit King. This is a king of the spirit world, and she has the audacity to talk back to him. And she's saying, no, this was not his fault. It was her fault for trying to do something she couldn't do. And so she's just blabbering on and on. And Loki's like, what are you doing, Lucy? You have to stop, please. This is the king of the celestial spirits. She said, I don't care if this is the king. I will not let my friend die. And so Lucy is still going higher and higher on my list of memorable characters, of my favorite characters. And to think her talking back to the Spirit King wasn't enough, she just gets all fumed, more magic energy surges out of her, and she summons not one, not two, but every single one of her celestial spirits. And the celestial spirit's like, wow, this girl really means business. Seeing how the celestial spirit is witnessing this power coming out of this, well, I want to say 17-year-old girl, he's in real awe, I guess. And he's saying, okay, Loki, or Leo, I'll give you a deal. I will forgive you this one time, but you have to serve this human girl for as long as she may live, or as long as you may live, whatever. And so Lucy actually did it, and she's like, well, thanks, Stash Face. And then he gives a big old smile, and he just leaves. And Loki and Lucy just hug each other, and Loki saying, thank you so much. And he decides to go back to the spirit world, but he gives her his key in exchange for, you know, him leaving. And so that's another zodiac spirit that Lucy has in her arsenal. But what happened to Ares, though? I have no idea. I want to know what happened to Ares. But sadly, we don't find out what happened to Ares. Hopefully, she moved on to a better celestial wizard. So, I mean, fingers crossed, guys. And so now we're moving back to the Fairy Tale Guild. And the squad is saying, like, Loki, you're a wizard. Like, not wizard. You're a celestial spirit, Loki? And he's like, yeah, sorry, I didn't really tell you guys. And Natsu's saying, well, okay, so that explains why it was weird switching our bodies. Okay. And he's like, yeah, I guess so. And since all this is going on, Natsu is saying, man, I wish I had a celestial spirit. And Happy's like, what kind of celestial spirit would you have? And he's like, of course, a dragon. I'd love to test my power on it. And so, of course, he always wants to fight things. So that would be pretty cool to have a dragon as his celestial spirit that he can just train with and get better with, because he is a dragon slayer. So as a gratitude of thanks, Loki decides to give the entire squad, including Urza, like tickets to this beach resort. And so they are so happy. Urza's already packed up, and she has her cart filled with suitcases, filled with like a mannequin and umbrellas and all this stuff. She always brings like her whole house with her when she goes out on places, and that is amazing. So they finally get some time for rest and relaxation other than being at the Hosenka place. And so that is the end of the episode of Fairy Tale. Alrighty guys, you already know I don't like to end off these episodes without a question of the day. And today's question for the day is, if you had a celestial spirit, what would yours be? Now mine, I mean, it's pretty obvious, it's in my name. I would freaking love to have a koala as a celestial spirit. And I don't know what the koala would do, as long as I could just hug it. Oh, that'd be amazing, because I just absolutely, positively love koalas. But let me know down in the comment section below, which celestial spirit would you have? You can make up an animal. You can make Cthulhu your celestial spirit. You can make the Kraken your celestial spirit. I don't know if they're the same thing. You can make Godzilla himself, or herself. I think it's a woman, or I think it's a female. Either way, you can make that as your celestial spirit. You can make King Kong as your celestial spirit. You can make a little ant as your celestial spirit. But let me know down in the comment section below. And with all that said and done, keep it cool.